Okay. Okay.
I don't feel like I used a lot of body there. That was more of, hey, I'm just gonna...
Who should be Brian Shaw's first opponent?
Guys, as we saw recently, Brian Shaw did give us the green light, and he is indeed joining arm wrestling. And you know, by having him joining the sport, we're having added a quality-sized super heavyweight to the West team. Yet,
There is still a process that Brian has to go through to adapt to the technique. And this process consists on 20% of weightlifting and 80% of just table practice.
because you know, it's lovely training and getting size, but
If we're talking about size, we do know that Brian does have.
so what he mostly needs is some sparrings or even competition. And when I was thinking about that, I was like, hey, who should be Brian Shaw's first opponent on a professional match? And I saw some people already saying who should Brian face. And one interesting name was Leonidas. And as we know, Leonidas had sort of a similar entry to the sport.
Leonidas was and still is a very strong powerlifter, but still, he couldn't even pin Schoolboy. So after that, he could,
Just accept the fact that arm wrestling is a different sport,
and that he would always lose to people such as Schoolboy.
or start training to actually develop strength on the table and show that he could make it in the sport. And as we all saw on the last East vs West, Leonidas did prove to us that he could. But anyways, as I was saying, if we're looking for an opponent to Brian, Leonidas could be a great opponent indeed. But, you know, in my opinion, there's someone even better that certainly is out of people's camp of view. Because, as we know, Brian Shaw is a strong man, and there is a guy who is very close to our super heavyweight champion, Levon, and he is also a strong man, and I'm talking about Konstantin Janashia. And people might say that he isn't actually pulling or looking forward to pull, but he has trained and could train with Levon to prepare himself. And honestly, it would be both Konstantin and Brian Shaw's first professional match.
So I'd say that's a very cool and fair matchup, since we would have one of Levon's main guys going up against somebody who everybody wants to see facing Levon later on. But what about you guys? Who would you like to see Brian Shaw facing on his first match? Leave down in the comments, and thank you so much for watching.